Hey guys, hope you are listening and hope my audio is clear. So let's start this weekly review, what I've done this week and how I'm finding next things for this coming week. So this week didn't go how I wanted, but it showed me exactly what I need to fix. So let's go, let's start. And here we'll discuss where I have followed my model and where I have slipped off, the traits that expose my hesitation and bias, the habits I must fix to level up next week. So let's start. So we're on dollar index. So previous week we have seen price started around here. We're watching on a daily time frame. Okay, so this is 1 day time frame. On a daily time frame, Monday, there's no much price action happening. This was the accumulation day. Tuesday, displacement to this fair value gap, or you might say this CB. ये CB डिस्प्लेस होता है, ये कैंडल उसको फिल करता है, पूरा ही फिल कर देता है. So now we can see dollar is hanging around on this order block, you might say. And if it breaks this order block, then you can see lower prices to the downside, because here we can see there is a volume imbalance which has been left unfilled. ये वाला जो volume imbalance है, this has been unfilled. Okay, so might as well look for that, क्योंकि यहाँ पे जो भी imbalance था ये वाला, this has been rebalanced, and prices also taken, you can see this high, previous week's high. So it was monthly high also. If you look at this candle was painted on November 5th, and this sweet candle was November 25th. So this month's high has been swept, and we might as well see market going down on dollar. Let's go to our favorite asset class where we trade gold. Yeah. So as we have seen, dollar is pretty bearish, and so here the opposite is happening. Monday, we have seen a big bullish candle displacing through this fair value gap, and Tuesday, the price is holding around that fair value gap and it doesn't want to come down. Okay, and following the days, price just shot up, and here we can see the structure has been changed and the high has been broken. So this is a body close candle above this high. So this eventually this CB, which is a daily CB market, it gets displaced through like a band. See, this goes like a band, and we might see higher prices coming this week of December, or we can see this week, yeah, starting week of the December month. So we can see price accumulating also, and I'll suggest you guys keep size low while trading this month, and I am having my size down also because there is not much of a movement. Rather, there is a lot of manipulations. So stay away from manipulations. Okay? Because I have been caught. This week was very tough, not because the market was wide, but because it exposed some of my own patterns, and I still need to cut out those. So for dollar and gold, you have seen this week has been pretty bullish. And let's go to euro. Euro, I haven't opened the charts since last week for the euro USD because I don't trade that much in euro. But if we go to 15 minutes and sorry, if you go to daily, what you can see, so it was being respected when we have drawn it. So Friday 21, Monday. So on Friday we have seen this was respected, and this week it just went on from there, and we can see this CB now becomes this fair value gap becomes the inverse fair value gap, which price will respect, and you can see prices respecting that gap. So we might as well see higher prices because the price is pulling upside because there is also, you can see, a VIB volume imbalance. What is a volume imbalance? Let me give me a second. I will make you understand. Wait a sec. Let me have my tools here. Yeah, here we go. So we zoom in. So let's talk about today's lesson. Short lesson is volume imbalance. Okay. So what is volume imbalance? You see this candle. What is the close? Let me first give me a second. Hmm, is that open low? I close. Closing. Hmm, so getting any kind of line. No value. Two. Yeah, not showing. I'll put that again. So let's see. So for a candle like a bearish candle, you can see. So for a bearish candle, this is the open, this is the high, This is the low and this is the close. So let's mark open, high, this is low, and this is close. So OHLC. For this candle, what is the open? This is the open. Give me a second. Let me change colors. Yeah, this color will be fine. This is open. This right there is high. This is low. And this is close. So, see, this close, this candle's closure, and this candle's open. There is a particular gap. You see this gap? This is called volume imbalance. Okay. When due to high volume, there is an imbalance created between two consecutive candles. It may be the nature of the candle, bullish or bearish, doesn't matter. Okay, but the gap which has been created matters because there are unfilled orders here. The orders here has not been properly filled. You can see. Okay, so this creates a imbalance. And what price does to the imbalance is goes towards it. You can see. Okay, so what price does here? This inverse fair value gap, this is the imbalance. Price retraces towards this imbalance, then goes up. So, like that, price will pull the prices to the upside. And we can see there are relative equal highs to the upside. And if the market rams through this volume imbalance, then we can see higher prices taking this equal highs, relative equal highs. Okay, so let's go to again to our favorite gold and let's discuss how this week went on my executions. क्योंकि executions are important, not analysis. Because अगर आप analysis करते हो लेकिन you can't execute properly, like me, I cannot take 2 3 high probability setups. Within that, I mess up. I took 1 2 3 less probable setups, or you can say impulse trades, which I have been working on and which I have been controlled somewhat, not in a great sense. So I take you to my Notion dashboard. So this is on, you can say this was on Tuesday. So Tuesday, what I did was open charts side by side. So will give us a proper view of what we are doing. So yeah, so let's go. Love me, I don't want to take premiums, bro. I don't have money. So on Monday, I'm watching price. Okay, let's go to hourly. Hourly, let's go to hourly. So this was on Monday and it was on pre-New York, right? Let's mark that. It was 7 a.m. Yeah, around year off. So On hourly, you can see prices bullish on Monday. So what I this was my, you can say, bias. Previous day was a bullish day, and you can see I have written that swept over the daily high. If it establishes a body closure with the previous daily high, the most probably the market will remain bullish. I was bullish on this day, and you can see I have daily high has been taken. Price are moving around the daily CB. The structure has been broken. So I'm looking at both time frames, hourly time frame and H4 time frame. So we can see what PDR raise has been influencing the price. Okay, daily CB has been rebalanced, market went up by rebalancing the hourly CB. Okay, so if we look at this was the CB I'm talking about. What I did during the trade, the market after sweeping the daily high showing strong bearish momentum. If you look at the bigger picture, the market is going down. So here, when I'm analyzing, I thought it will be a bullish day, and it was a bullish day. But during trade, completely changed my bias. See, I'm now planning a sell setup. Where that came from, I didn't know. So these are the mistakes we need to correct. So when so when you are looking at this, I have planned a sell side. I have I have planned sell side. So when the day was bullish and I'm taking sell setups, what will happen? Of course I'll lose. My sell got hit. Took two trades. The first entry was emotional entry and second was a FOMO entry. The logic of the trade was there, but the execution was not that good. The original buy trade, which I was planning, went good, but the weekly buys influenced me to go for a sell trade. So if we go to the weekly review, see, I have written structure is bearish and high time frame is bearish. Because if you look at this, where I have analyzed, it is holding around daily CB and it has rebalanced this. So I'm looking that on Monday, I'm seeing candle. We see on daily chart. Let me find this. So on Monday, we saw pretty bullish candle, which I should have noticed, but I didn't. That's a mistake. I have to take nothing else against it. So you can see, okay, let me highlight this red. So these are mistakes. So here I changed my bias. So after losing one trade, it's my frequent bad trading behavior to take another trade. So what I do is, if I take trades on M1, okay. So what happens is, so what's happening is, when I take a trade on M1, okay, what happens? It gives me one-to-one risk reward most of the time. What I do is I take that when I get one to one, or most of the time when I don't also get one to one, I just move my SL to break even. And what it does is give me more losing trades than winning ones. So from now on, from this week on, I've decided is I will not move myself. Okay, I will not move myself. I will not. This is a correction I'm doing to my execution strategies. So I'll not move my SL. I'll wait for at least one to two, and from there I can either bring it to break even or I can book partials. Partials is good, bro. Let's stick to partials. So from this week on, around one to two, I'll book partials. Okay, I'll take this because if I'm letting my money on the table and not taking it deliberately, that's a dumber thing. So yeah, I'm not holding back. I'm taking what I've got. Let's move. So if you look at execution, so enter into two trades and I was out of the market within 30 minutes of market open. So this I have noticed also. What I'm doing the mistake is when I'm entering a the fuck, what delete this. So when I'm entering a trade, let's say I have entered around here, just for example, okay, this gives me 1 is to 1, then this hits my SL because I move myself. So when this hits, I take another trade around here because when I'm losing or when the market proves me wrong, sometimes, not often, now I have understood, but पहले पहले क्या होता था कि I would take another trade on the buy side, most probably, to prove that I'm not wrong. And this is the mistake I've done 1,000 times, and this leads to more consecutive losses, and this leads to blowing up my account. So, so see, took two trades and were not perfectly. The entry was not defined. Full closure of the break even and the risk reward was not respected. I should have booked earlier. I broke the rule of maximum trades. Today didn't hurt, but the process was broken. See, I am writing what needs to be corrected, and this is the most important thing in trading. If you don't respect how you trade and if you don't respect the process behind trading, then you can do this shit, man. This is really hard. This will become really hard because if you don't know what you are doing while the market is open and while you are trading in the market, then nothing can save you. So if you are journaling, great. It is the best thing to do because it shows you things that when you are trading live you can't see. This doesn't hide your, and if you are doing your journaling, be honest with it. Don't be like कि आज मैंने 10 trade ले लिए लेकिन the setups look good. Yeah, I have done everything good. No, write your mistakes also. See, it's below par and I have to refine my execution and follow the process. And I should stop trading the instant account for today. So I'm writing what I need to do while I am live in the market. And see, emotional intensity 5. I've given 5. Fear of not getting good entry leads to early entries, so need more patience. I need more patience. And so what it's like, if you see enough price actions, you can see entries all the time. You can see that market is, now you can feel the momentum. So I am feeling the momentum every time, but I am hesitant to enter on times. So this needs to be corrected. If I see this again, then it will not be good. So if I see a trend reversal or continuation pattern, and if I see momentum on my bias, then I should take those setups also. The revenge behavior, and also when a setup fails, the second instant trade. See, I'm mentioning this 1,000 times. This this is what holding me back. The instant trade, the impulse trade, I might say. This this shit is holding me back for a long time. So this needs to be corrected. See, so my bias was bullish, and see, I have drawn also the imbalance from where it will go. And if you look at this is the M5, I guess. Yeah, most probably M5 time frame. So this is M5, 5 minutes candles. Each candle is closing within 5 minutes. And wait, 5 minutes. And I have drawn the FVG. You can see I've done the CB, and also, sorry, BC, and also the FVG, the inverse fair value gap. So this combines, creates what? Creates a BPR, and this is my, you can say, the go-to entry model for trading gold. I love BPR. I love balanced price ranges, because when the price is balanced within a inverse fair value gap and a fair value gap, the price shorts up like hell. You can see this price just shot up, taking these highs where I have marked also. But what I did when the market was showing me this around 9, you can say 8, 8 a.m. Yeah, so 8 a.m. opening candle. What it did was it just manipulated. But this imbalance was so great, so big. You can see. You see this. This is so big of a range. So I thought I should go short. But I haven't seen the previous planning. What I did was I should have entered. But what, let me tell you, what made me not enter this, you see, this candle, when in the live market this big humongous candle comes like literally towards you, you can't, you can take, but this needs more experience. And I'm seeing this, that when price manipulates big, it also expands big to the opposite side. So I need more conviction with my setups. This was the first trade. Let's go and look at our second trade. This, I was taking a bullish setup. So I should have longed around here also, but I let this move. Price went up. Then I entered around here. It was 8:30. Yeah. So I entered around here, and you can see I exited also on break even on this trade, I guess. Yeah. So you see, open my panel. Yeah. So my bias was neutral where I should have been bullish. This was a mistake. Bearish because I've seen the daily high has been swept. And on the weekly bias, I have also mentioned it bearish. So it leads to my change of bias within the trade, within the day on Monday. And if you see, I've lost $26, which is just 0.5% of my account. Okay, it's not even 1%. So I'm risking very low. I'm going very low on position sizing because this is December, man. You will not see much of a momentum here. You can see, but there will be a lot of manipulations, not feeling price actions. So I'm risking very low. I'm still sticking with zero point 0.5. Okay, so let's see. Is it more? Nothing. Yeah, so see, this point I need to mention on my trade management. The trades from now on shall be only focused on taking quality setups, not taking too much low probability setups. This is the mistake I've talked with you earlier also, right? So, because today I took two early losers and I got a good trade in the opposite direction. But it was my emotional mistake to not take profit what market was agreeing to give me. See, not booking profit. It's also a great mistake that hold a lot of traders. Like it's like a thing like a greed. You can say this is the greed behavior because when you see too many losers and when you see a winner, okay, a winner going towards your direction. If you take a trade and instantly it becomes winner and goes with your directions. Sometimes what happen is when greed takes over you. Okay, when this greed takes over you, what you do is you move your take profit. You just move it. You just move it. Let me take more. Let me take more. Let me take more. So what happens is when you are in this kind of a behavior that let me take more, you don't book. Book what? The money on the table. So what happens is when you don't book the money on the table, price goes like this. Here is your entry point. Here is your stop loss. And if you are careful enough, you just bring your stop loss to break even. Okay, but you don't book most of the times when grid takes you over. So price goes like this. You are seeing profit. You imagine like this is the take profit level. Okay, you see a big candle coming. You just remove this take profit order. This happens. This happens with me. I don't know it happens with you or any other person. But due to greed, I move my take profit just here. Just here. This movement, when this movement starts, price goes, and this is the level which I should have booked my profit. And this was like, you can say this was earlier I have decided to take here. But in the meantime, when I see market going up, this is my frequent behavior that I move my take profit just to get more of that, just to get more profit, just to juice it a little bit. But what happens is price goes, it manipulates here, it comes down like this. And when this price is coming like this giving retracements, right? It is giving retracements. So what I see is at different levels there are imbalances which will not work. In the back of my mind, I know this will not work. But what I do is I wait for this imbalance to prove me right. And price what does is it either hits my break even or stop loss. So this mental imbalance, this mental imbalance which creates this kind of structure where you haven't booked profit, like this is a hell because you have started analyzing the when the prices was here, you took a trade, you hold with patience, but a simple mistake, not booking your profit does what? All your progress is down. And what it does is incredible thing, let me tell you. You will amazed by this. So at your mind, when you started this trade, you were at zero, let's say. This was $5, let's say. You should have booked around 5. And this is your break even level. Okay. So when price hits your break even on your account, you can see on your account you are at $0, but the energy you have lost, the like the patience you have lost in your mind, you are right now at -$5. And what this leads is this minus, this negative is not there, but you believe that you should have booked profit, you have done a mistake. So this -$5 is like a burden to you. And what you do is you try to make it back where it has not been lost also. The account is on $0. But in your mind you are in negative. Because when we are involved in this highs and lows, in my mind I have seen this $5 and I thought I should have booked. So it becomes a burden, and it becomes when the break even hits, in my mind I'm like, this is -$5. Okay. So in my mind I'm -$5. So you will try to make it back by what? By taking another one trade. So this thing has literally stopped my what I can say improvement for a year or 6 months or to a year. And recently, 3 4 months, I have realized that this is the mistake I was doing. I was investing my mental capital and I was taking trades, revenge trades, just because I didn't book my profit and it just hit me on a break even. So I'm like, I have lost that profit, which is not booked. So it is literally, it's not mine. But in the mental state, I am seeing this as a negative. Okay. So this is also a mistake. Let's count, guys, what mistake you do. This is the best thing. Like, I love journaling my entries, what I've done right, what I've done wrong. So let's go. Let's check for Tuesday. So on Tuesday, see, overstructure bullish. Daily has been broken to the upside, expanding from the exposed CV. PD, any PD arrays influencing. I've written all this. Entered on a set. See, this is the mistake. I've done it 1,000 times and it's just fucks me over and over, man. Because see, you can see my bias is bullish, but what I'm doing, I'm taking sell trade against my bias. What? So what happens? I lose. Obviously, I lose because my bias is bullish and I'm taking sell trades. That is the you can see there is a confusion between my execution and my bias. I am 100% correct on my analysis, but 0% correct on my trade management execution. So I made this series, the Execution 101, where we'll learn how to actually execute trades in the market. Not like this series is not based on technical analysis more. This is based on journal review more because I need to give you something that no one is giving. No one is making you see how the mistakes keep happening of a break even, you can say, or a losing trader. So See, I've entered on a sell trade here and got stopped out. Obviously, I'll get stopped out because the bias was wrong. And if you see, I've written early entries, rush going in my favor, but after taking the sell, yeah, it will manipulate. Follow the daily bias. I've written, stick to it. The trade went in my favor, but due to market execution error and tight stop loss, yeah. So, give me a minute. Yeah. So, another mistake I've spotted is, see, let me highlight it. So, this is a frequent mistake. So, what happens is, I've told you earlier in this video, in this stream also, when I am on 1:1 risk reward and the trade is winning, I just tend to move my SL, man. I just tend to move my SL to break even, and after giving me 1 to 1 because it is against my bias. Okay, so I am from a mental perspective, literally I am on a confusing state on right on this time that should I book? Should I not book? The bias is bullish. I am taking a trade on a bearish setup. So this creates a hindrance in my mind. Okay. So most of the times when I move my SL got hit, gets hit every time, and price goes in my direction and it makes money on the chart. The account gets zero. So there is like I can say no improvement because I am taking sell trades on a bullish bias and I am moving myself. I am doing thousand things on this day also because I'm seeing 50, $60 in profit and didn't booking it. Then I hit my SL. Then what happened is I go on a tilt. I took 7, 8 trades, proper random trades. So six, I might say, two were good setups, six were random trades. So on this day, I took 8 trades. One was aligned with my bias, which was also wrong. The last trade was based on a H4 imbalance with price creating low resistance liquidity to the upside with change in state of delivery at M1. It took profit at the exact FVG closer. The bias need to be looked over and over because I was caught up today in manipulations. Yes. So I have corrected this. The bias needs to be, wait, this, let me turn red. Yeah. See, mistakes. Now, what we are seeing, stop loss placements are too tight. Many trades were closed before it did something. Risk reward expected on the last trades. I was caught up in too many manipulations because I'm entering in M1, man. M1 will give you 10 manipulations and one good move. So remember that. See, the mistake, what is my emotional trade? Emotional state. Sorry. I'm taking n number of trades just to prove I'm right. I'm not giving enough time for a trade to work just by having expectations, fear and greed. What is the result of this shitty day? Yeah, expected it will be a break even day. Took the last trade with the conviction and SL placement was perfect. Everything from starting on this day. Yeah. So on this day, I was like, you can see, I was like $100 down, like literally 2%. And on the last trade, I made 1%. So it made me hanging around 1% only. Okay. So we go and see, this was the sell trade. Okay. Why should it work, brother? It worked, but like I have entered around here, I've entered around here, and this was my stop loss. This was my early stop loss. This high, because this was an invalidation. This high, but I moved here just because I don't want to give this amount. So what price does is it goes, hits my SL, then it takes this. And this is the H4 CB I'm talking about, from which I should have bought the market. Okay, let's close this. Let's watch this. So here also this, you see this? Let me, you see this? This is where I got caught up last week. Okay, I took too many trades inside this because this was a H4 level. But on, then I waited. When I see, when I saw, sorry, when I saw when I saw this change in the state of delivery, I entered on a buy trade because my bias was bullish, and I just closed around the FVG closer. This gave me 1 is to 2 risk reward, but I just managed to recoup my losses. Okay, so this day I'm break even. Let's discuss Wednesday and let's wrap up it. Okay, let's do it. Really good. So Wednesday bank holiday tha, so I have not expected much. Like I have took a, see, entry was aligned. Now I am aligning my entry with bias. So cutting short on the stop loss is a mistake I always make. So this is the mistake I always do. Cutting the trade short, cutting the SL short. Okay. So it on 10 fear rush. It's happening fear rush because I'm not that confident in my setup also sometimes. What is the result? Loss. Like see, this is the trade I took. This was my actual SL, and what it did was I moved my SL here, man. Seeing this imbalance, seeing just this imbalance, I moved my SL like a freaking bitch. So what it did was it proved me right. It went in my direction, but what it did, it hit my stop loss. So need to stop that mistake. Mistakes I did, execution error, moving stop losses too tight. See, need to highlight this. This mistake. So moving stop losses too tight before the market proves me right, and this leads to getting more small losing trades. After entering each trade, I micromanage it rather letting it play. Yeah, this is my mistake. I always do, and I'm getting over it. Most trades go in my favor, but I don't make money on those trades only because early exits and tight stops and micromanagement. These three things need to be stopped. Okay, we will stop this week. I'm not going to early exit any trades. I'm not going to give tight stops, more tight stops. I'm not going to micromanage it. And on Friday, it was a no trade day because on Friday, most of the time, I lose. So So I avoid Friday. Here there is no displacement. Price was stuck in a $5 to $8 range. High time frame was unclear, and this was the accumulation. There is no momentum today, and the price is behaving abruptly. So I should stay out of the market. And I didn't took any trades. So see, I didn't took any trades on Friday. So let's see what we'll do this week. So let's see what is happening this week, and I'll come up with a weekly review also for this week. So stay motivated, stay good, and yeah, man, if you haven't started trading, start. This is the great profession where you can get a complete freedom, where you will get the complete freedom. So what I was seeing was, yeah. So what a second. Let me give you something. Yeah. So this was that. Oh, let's see what happens next this week. And probably I'll do the weekly review also for this week, what I'm seeing, what might happen. And I've talked with you earlier also in this video, in this live stream. See, meet you again